Okay, so some context on this boy that I'm going on this first date in his car in a parking lot to do dabs with. I don't remember a lot about him. I know that he was blonde, kind of cute, I think-ish, probably like 20 and I was 18. So anyway, I meet him in the parking lot, I get in his car and he offers me a dab and I have never done one. So I'm like, oh, like what's it feel like? And he's like, it's just like getting really high. And I thought that I liked getting really high. Turns out what I liked was smoking like kind of mediocre weed from the Midwest in like small quantities with my friends. But I thought I liked getting really high. So I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. So he goes first and he like shows me how, and then it's me. I'm up. It's my turn. Okay, I accidentally deleted this clip, but basically I took the dab and I was just like immediately like in tears, coughing, crying, like about to vomit, like spitting in this absolute stranger's car. And I didn't really care what he thought, but it was definitely embarrassing. So then I start like finally catching my breath, and that's when I realized like, okay, I can breathe again, and I'm the most scared I have ever been in my life. Now, up until this point, weed had never made me paranoid. I never had an experience like that. It was always like giggly, a little bit of munchies, fun. But I take this one dab and I'm just immediately like, oh, I'm in danger. So I'm like, can you take me home? Like, and he's like, right now? Like, I literally just got there and I'm like, yeah, I need you to take me home. So this park that we're at, or this parking lot, it's like literally 2 minutes that way. So it's a very short drive. So he drives me back to my place and he's like not that high. This is like clearly something that he does a lot. Aww. So he's like, hey, like, I have a long drive home. Can I take, like, one more dab? I want to get high before I go. Driving high is super irresponsible. I should have said no. I was 18, not an excuse. Still, I'm, like, terrified. So I'm like, okay. He asks if he can take it in my garage. And I'm like, no, this is my grandparents' house. Like, ah. But I just want him to leave. And I just remember, like, standing in front of my fridge and opening it and being, like, scared of my fridge. And, like, I just need water and for him to go. I don't remember him leaving or how I finally got rid of him, but he left. I guess we said goodbye. And then I remember I'm supposed to go to this movie with my new friend, Amy. She's supposed to be picking me up with her boyfriend, Jonathan, who I'm now great friends with. I'm completely convinced they're going to rob me, and that's why they're picking me up. I'm like doing the math in my head. I'm like, the only reason they would offer to give me a ride to the movie is so that they can find out where I live and rob me. Not because, oh, I don't have a car and I asked for a ride. Not to mention there's no valuables here. So my paranoid ass cancels the plans. Sits at home and just panics for like 2 hours about nothing. The next day I'm like back to normal and I'm like, oh, that was really stupid. Now Amy and I are great friends. Her and Jonathan have a really cute baby. But that's the story of how I canceled our first ever hangout for a dab.